Good afternoon, Texas bikers, and welcome to Popeye Live. We're going to be talking about a few things this afternoon, and we're going to be giving a little bit to everybody, even to the people on our China virus page, and yes, even to the people on the Constitutional Warriors page. And let me tell you, I know I wrote down there, I said, hey, we're going to give you a news media update. Yeah. And the update is, if their lips are moving, they are lying. The propaganda machine is in full swing. That's whether they're giving cover to the President Potato Head or any other loony plan they've got going on out there. And of course, we see our government now just pissing money everywhere, pulling it out of thin air, and is going to be spending it on the most egregious things. And you know, I do believe one of them would be Amtrak. I do not believe in its history it has made a profit. Matter of fact is, what I remember several years back, they were losing about $134 per customer. Per customer. And just think, he wants to throw more billions and billions more into it, over a system that is not going to be a bullet trains across the country. It's not going to be any of that BS. So that's just one of many things that are nothing but scams. And of course, like we know they did during the Obama administration, which Joe Biden was part of for 8 years, they gave money away to their friends and so on. They enriched their friends, and when their businesses or business models collapsed, they walked away scot-free. That's what happened. That is what happened. And now we're set to repeat it all over again. So let's just let them keep on keeping on. And of course, they gave us a measly $1,400, and they expect us to believe that is going to satisfy everybody. Just keep throwing a little bit of money here and there at us, and hey, man, they're going to lap this up. What you got to do is you got to recognize what's going on. That all these things are scams. Especially these big bills that come in that are worth billions and billions and trillions of dollars. That we are on the hook for sooner or later. Just think about that. They're trying to buy you off with $1,400 and maybe a little more in the future. And man, you're thinking you're doing great. And we've got people out there on extended unemployment that are making more money than when they were working. So now it's hard for companies to hire people, especially people that are in the restaurant industry, because their employees tend to be younger. So heck, I wait and sit home and play video games instead of going to work. Why not? We're not going to class. I don't know how many colleges out there are still doing online teaching. And of course, every bit of that is a scam too. You're paying full tuition for an inferior education. And who knows that they're not just shoving them on through, that their diplomas aren't worth a damn, that they really don't know shit. I'm just saying, everybody. Just saying. And hey, I know this is in the middle of the afternoon. There's not many people that are logged on. But hey, you can watch this anytime on YouTube. And if it goes away from there, it'll be on Rumble. Oh, yeah. But just think about it. We got all the top players that were on YouTube, that were on the conservative side, that have now moved on to other platforms. And yeah, they still may come on YouTube for a few minutes just to advertise their program and where they're at. Matter of fact is, there's one of them that comes on and does his show just like he wants to do it, saying the things he wants to say, and he gets it out there, and then the next day he moves it to the other platform after he's done his entire show unedited on YouTube for one night, and then moves it the next day before they've had a chance to look at it. Now, they still get a chance to look at it, so they'll probably still get a strike against them. And hey, as a matter of fact is, we're surprised that we don't have a strike against us again. At least not so far. It's incredible. But we figure, yeah, sooner or later we're going to get one, because we don't edit anything. We don't edit anything. Matter of fact is, we don't monetize our YouTube. We don't monetize it on any other page. We're not out here to beg you for money like many of them do. And yeah, there's some on here that have people sending them gifts and everything else. We don't do that. That's not what we're about. We're about our constitutional rights. We're about people that have had their constitutional rights violated. That's what we're about. And we see our Constitution being ripped to shreds by these people. Hey, if you want this to continue, do nothing. Do nothing. If you're satisfied with this, do nothing. But if you are not satisfied with this, if you're not satisfied with our Constitution being ripped apart, if you're not satisfied with the direction our country is heading, you've got to keep on pressing. You've got to make some phone calls. And let me say this about our stuff that's going on in the state legislature. You keep those calls coming. Keep contacting the senators. Keep contacting them and tell them of your concerns. And yes, that is all written out there for you at Texas Defenders Region 2 on Facebook. What to say. It's simple. And you can do it. You can copy, paste, do it. You can do it in 5 minutes and have an email off to your representatives. And yeah, you want to keep the heat on them in the Senate, the U.S. Senate too. We don't need these things. We don't want these things. We don't want to be a socialist country. And yes, President Potato Head is trying to reimagine the whole thing. They're trying to redo the whole thing. No, 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 no. We don't want this. We don't want it. So, if you want change, call, vote, vote, vote. We got elections going on here in Texas right now. So let's get out there. Today is the voting day. You still got time to get to the polls. Hey, Facebook, this is classic, you guys. I saw on Facebook this morning where they said they wanted to have a discussion with me over Asian hate. Asian hate. Let me see. I got some Asian neighbors around here that are really great. One of them's a mechanic, and he if I have a problem with the car, I take it to him. He fixes it. I buy the parts. He won't take money. He won't take it. He said, no, you're my neighbor. Okay. You know, and Asians that come to this country, like many other groups, they come here and they're really successful. You know, and they're all about a good education for their kids. And they make sure they study. And, you know, when when some of our grandkids were going to summer school, and not to get extra credits, if you know what I mean. But the Asian kids were there at summer school getting extra credits, is what they were doing. So they are really successful. And I don't see Asian hate out there. It may be there because there are racists all over the country, and racist, matter of fact, is all different races are racist, if that's the right way to put it. Can be racist. But most of them, I admit, it's not that way. Now, once again, what we do is we have the government trying to create more chaos, more chaos between the races. That's all that is. That's all it is. Because I know better. As a matter of fact is, we had Vietnamese that worked in our country, and in my company, I'm sorry. They were hard workers, all of them. All of them. I can't think of one that wasn't. So let's just put that crap to bed, everybody. That's fake news. That's fake government trying to cause chaos between the races. So, what else, guys? What else? I mean, they're trying to divide us all, keep us fighting, cause as much chaos as they can, in any way they can, over any issue they can. And that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. You know, now we got Biden out there, President Potato Head, who's out there touting the choo-choo trains. Oh, yeah. You know, he was a big Amtrak rider. Oh, yeah. He could call them up and get them to hold up a train for him if he was going to be late for his little short trip to Delaware, that little bitty state. Yeah. So, man, he's out there wanting to spend billions and billions on the choo-choo trains. Raise hell, everybody. Raise hell. It's like the infrastructure bill. That's nothing there. That's nothing there but a big giant scam. We've got giant scams being played on us day after day after day. And there are some Republicans that participate in it. They know the deal. They know the deal. And hey, guys on the chat line, I see you there. Good afternoon to you, too. Glad to see you. You know, it's like we talk about the news line, line trying to give cover to the government. You know, it's like the crisis on the border. You know, we have the government saying, "Oh no, there's no crisis." Biden, no crisis. And that press secretary, you just sits up there and lies, one lie after the other. No, it's like I said the other night. When did it become acceptable to be a constant liar? When did that become acceptable? I can promise if you ask a biker, if you ask a biker a question about something, they're going to give you the truth as they know it. They really are. They're not going to lie to you. Unless he figures you're some type of moron. But he's going to tell you the truth as he knows it. Now, he can be 100% wrong, but he's going to give you the truth as he knows it. So let's think about that. That we need to call these people out for the liars they are. We don't need to accept this. And we should not accept this. So, it's up to us, everybody. It's up to us. Because you take the China virus, and here I go. And I've had the China virus. But let me tell you, when that was politicized, and it was politicized early on, because they were going to take the opposite view of Donald Trump on anything and everything. But you know what? This mask thing, the potato heads out there saying, hey, look, we got 200 million people vaccinated. Well, 200 million people, heck, that's half the country. But yet, they want us to continue to wear these masks. When Dr. Fauci out there himself, who's been all over the map, who's now saying, hey, you don't need to wear these masks if you've been fully vaccinated. You don't need to wear these masks because we're going on the downhill side. We got half the country vaccinated. And I'll take it a step further. You don't need to wear them, period. Not when we have a 99% survivability rate. I survived it. My 93-year-old dad survived it. Now, yes, there are some people that maybe have not taken care of themselves, who did not seek help soon enough, or had the hospital jack around with them, or even worse, have a governor like Governor Cuomo make the wrong moves and then write a book about it. My God, everybody, take the damn things off. Herd immunity. Take it off. You never needed to put children in those masks. From the beginning, when they were telling us, the science said that children were not susceptible to the China virus. Young people were going to survive. And so every time we have a few cases where a young person maybe had succumbed to the virus, and that's a horrible thing to have happen to your family. But it's like we've seen with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We had 5, 10 people, whatever it is now, 15, out of hundreds of millions that got sick. One died, and the whole system goes into a panic. Come on, everybody, that's not us. That's not us. Our motorcycle club has been all over the country, and we're fixing to take another trip to New Mexico for our national meetup. And are we going to wear masks and fret and hide in the corner? Hell no. Hell no. And we haven't since the beginning. Oh yeah, at first we were taking precautions, but then it became obvious to us there's a whole lot of lying going on, because we got mixed messages from everybody, including Dr. Fauci and crew. We're saying, everybody, and one other of the things we need to do, everybody, is take back our damn school. All over the country, we need to take back our schools. We don't need to have our children being taught critical race theory. We don't need to have them hearing about the 1619 Project, which is a bunch of bullshit. Because the 1619 Project is going to try and influence your children into believing that America began in 1619. Let me tell you, America didn't exist in 1619. It did not exist. But you know what 1619 was? They say it is when the first slaves hit the continent. Now let me tell you, the history of slavery goes a long ways back, way before America, way before Europe. And almost every race, slavery was generally the victories of war. In other words, when one country conquered another country, well, guess what? The losing country was slaves. Many of them ended up being slaves. America didn't exist in 1619. But yet what they're going to do is try and teach your children a bunch of BS. And it was all built on the backs of the black man. That's where they're going with that. Slavery is a horrible thing, and it still goes on today, everybody. It still does. Many of these people that are coming up from Mexico or Central America, you think they're coming here for free? No. You think they aren't slaves to the cartels? You bet they are. And now they're operating freely in this country. Let me tell you, I'm almost to the point where I do believe that just maybe our politicians might be in on this. That they might be making a whole bunch of money. But you're not going to get our FBI to look into it. You're not going to get our Homeland Security to look into it. No. You see, they're in on it. If they're turning their back on this mess, because let me tell you, they know everything. They've got that big machine up there in Utah that listens in on everybody, including the politicians. Just think about this. They know everything John Kerry said to the Iranians. But instead of looking into that, who do they look into? Rudy Giuliani. Let me tell you, that's a ruse, everybody. They don't want you to learning about John Kerry anymore. They want you to look into Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. And Scott, you're right. We did inherit this from the English, but also the French and everybody else participated in this slavery stuff. They all did. And of course, nobody ever wants to mention that many of those slaves were sold by black men out of Africa. And then, of course, nobody wants to mention about the black slave owners in Mississippi. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, of course, nobody wanted to mention about the slave owners in Mississippi that were from up east. Oh, yeah. The people up in the east, they owned plantations. Take a trip to Natchez, Mississippi. And take one of their carriage rides. And those guys know a lot of history, and they will educate you. They truly will. Better than any classroom ever could. That's what I'm saying, everybody. What we've got going on in this country is so many lies, so many falsehoods, so many people being prosecuted. In other words, just like they did to us bikers. They go out there, they arrest, they set a narrative, and then they try and send you to prison, even though you may be innocent of any charges. And that is happening now, everybody, now. And that brings me to Waco 7 years later. You know, we got deeply involved in that because of our friends that we worked with in the state legislature. And, you know, what was going on at Twin Peaks at that time was a political meeting. Now, what we've done since then is we concentrate on the way the law and the prosecutor, the media, and the courts behaved from that point on. Because there was no due process. There was no ever any formal investigation by the police or the prosecutor's office. All it was done is they tried to bully 154 bikers into taking a plea bargain. And you know, that's what the feds do. But yet we had a state prosecutor or a county prosecutor that was going to make it happen, that was going to propel him to the governor's office. So what we may do on May 17th, 2021, is we're thinking about coming on live. And one reason we may not go to Waco, well, I wanted to go to Waco at first, but I thought, you know, we've got stuff going on in the state legislature, and I would not want to interfere with any of that. So we're going to do a live program that day on the anniversary of, and it's going to be about the behavior of the law, the prosecutor, the courts, the judges, the whole system that did just what we see happen nationally, happened to these young men and women in the same fashion. And of course, our whole focus will be on the law, the prosecutor, the courts. We don't place blame, or maybe I should say it another way. We don't mention the bikers. We all know what happened that day. But it surely wasn't the narrative that was being put out there by law enforcement. So we look forward to doing that. We look forward to everybody joining in. If you would, help spread the word that this is going to be coming. And so, wow. And hey, for my last thing, I wanted to send out a public warning to all web creators. All web creators. There's this scam going on, and this outfit is called Higbee and Associates. And what they do is they scour the internet looking for pictures that the web creators may have used, picked up off the internet, and used pictures that were not labeled copyrighted material. Usually you're on the internet, you're looking at pictures and stuff, and you'll see a little copyright stamp across the picture. Well, if it doesn't have that on it, to me and thousands and thousands and thousands of others see that, and that's free game. If it's not posted that it's copyrighted. So, and yeah, we did use some of them, and now they're trying to scam us for some money. I got news. We ain't paying nobody for nothing that's not legal. And what we think they do is they'll find something, and then I think the companies that are part of this, that they're threatening to sue in behalf of, they're in on it too. They're in on it too. Because what they do, I do believe, if they post the picture and they don't put a copyright stamp on it, they are trolling. They are just waiting for you to use it. So be aware of that. Be aware of that, and you web users, you web creators, pass the word. Pass the word that they could encounter this, and we'll all band together and do something about it. And yes, Scott, they do try and force a settlement, but you know what? I'm not that easy to deal with. So we're ready. We're ready. So yeah, and you guys, thanks to you again for saying, "Hey, Popeye, you're looking good." And yeah, it's been a rough road. I've been beat up pretty bad because of surgeries and cancer and everything else, and then a stroke on top of all that. Wow. But I am doing better, and I have not been cleared to ride yet. And I got my ass chewed over that one by my doctor. So we'll see. We'll see how long this is going to take, and how long I'm going to put up with it. But yeah, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. I got to gain some weight back. I'm pretty thin right now, so it's something else. But you guys, that's all I got to say for this evening. If something drastic pops up, I'll be back on. Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody, have a good day. Ride safe. It's raining. Let me tell you, we got a big storm coming up. It goes all the way from Corpus Christi to just north of Waco. Wow. But it's quite a distance, and it's big. So with that, have a great evening, a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.